Three, two, one. Welcome to our first Texas Coaches to Coaches session. Today we have Chris Cullen, and Chris is from Denton ISD. He's the Denton ISD Aquatics Director. He's the head coach at Denton Guyer High School. He's the club director at the Thunder Water Polo Club in North Texas, which is the largest club in Texas. He's also the Southwest Zone Girls ODP head coach. ODP is the Olympic Development Program. He wears lots of hats, and Chris is going to talk about center work. Chris, the floor is yours.
Well, glad to be here. I wish we were at the pool deck a little bit, but we're going to make the best that we can out of it. So I put a little something together for center work. A lot of these things you can just kind of mentally prepare when you're writing practices. I know now that we're not at the pool deck, we've got time to put our ideas on paper and kind of look as an overview to kind of way we modify things we've done in the past. So, all right. So if you have any questions, we'll post this PowerPoint, and so you can have any kind of access that we have so far.
Yeah. So everything, this video and his PowerPoint is going to be posted at txwaterpolo.com later today. So go ahead.
All right, center offense. So I put a couple of the best American centers that we've had in a while. We have Ryan Bailey here on the left side and Kimmy Craig on the women's team on the right side. So I think, our players, being in Texas, we're not as connected to the Californians and the top players in college and the world, et cetera. So I think we need to do a better job, just like, your average basketball player today knows the best basketball. They know who LeBron and Luka and everybody is in the NBA. We need to do a better job as coaches exposing our kids to the best players in the world, including the centers. So why are centers important? To me, I think center is a fundamental keystone of your offense. You've got to have a strong center position for a multitude of reasons. So, and when I say strong, I mean effective. They don't have to be the biggest, the strongest guys. There's going to be different kinds. You have to work with the athletes that you have. So some are going to be big guys. I played center as Dallas Masters, and as a coach, I've had to use all sizes and shapes of center, boys and girls. So you just have to work with the skill sets that they have and their physical attributes, and try to make the best of the kids on your team. I do think it's important that everybody learns center skills so that they can be effective part of the offense. If you have an attacker that can't post up and doesn't know basic center skills, then that's really going to limit their effectiveness on offense. So we look at one of the reasons why is it important, because shots from center have one of the higher scoring chances in a front court offense. Okay, so once you get down, get set up, in fact, they can be an effective part of early offense before the defense has a chance to get set up. So it's very important to have that. I have a study that I got from Joey Gullickson at Pacific that we can look at it here in a moment. So why your center being at 2 meters creates spacing for attacking and driving. So if you have a really strong attacker or a driving scheme, if you don't have an effective center, then the defenses won't have to respect the inside, the center portion as well. They will cheat to try to take away your attacks. So you have to have an effective center position for either drawing exclusions, getting natural goals, etc. So because it won't be able to create space for them if you don't have an effective center. Okay, if your effective centers can create the defense to go into a zone, either a 1-player zone, a 2-player zone, so that you can then that's going to be able to allow you to do some different things on offense. Your effective centers can cause the defenders to take exclusions, because they don't want to have these shots that are so high percentage scoring chances. They're going to take the exclusion because mathematically the 6-on-5 teams have a lower chance of scoring from 6-on-5 than an effective center. So if you don't have an effective center, I've played teams where that I knew their center wasn't going to score, so I didn't have to take kickouts, because I would rather have them this low percentage chance of scoring from the center than your standard 6-on-5. To me as a coach, I always had a goal of trying to, and as a player, I wanted to try to score 1 to 2 natural goals in a game for as a center, and try to draw 3 or 4 exclusions. To me, I came out, I try to tell my centers to be aggressive, be a threat from the very beginning. So if you come out and you get that first goal, make the defense drop into a zone, and then that frees up the outside shooters and the outside drives, et cetera. So establish that center early in the game. Okay. Here's a little bit of the study that I talked about that I got from Joey Gullickson. If you look this, the way you read this, the left side of the graph, this little heat map is meters, 2 meters, 5 meters. And then if you look for the left post is 1.5 meter. The goal is 3 meters wide, and the negative 1.5 is the right post. So if you see these quadrants here, if you look, sorry, let me move my picture out of the way. The heat map here on the goals, as to be expected, penalty shots, foul outside of 5s, at center cage, at 5 to 5.5 meters, where a lot of goals are going to be scored. So you have a red heat map here. But if you look, a lot of the other goals, especially from the right-handers, are all scored in that scoring zone, 2 to 5 meters between the posts. If you look, strong sense of a lot of goals being scored right there close to the goal. So this was a comparison. So if you need that study, I can forward it on to you. But I got it from Joey Gullickson. One of the benefits of being on the quarantine, I've been able to read some studies. Okay. If you just look at the number of shots, that was goals, look at the number of shots that occurred. So if you're looking between the posts here, between 2 and 5 meter, and this is in about 88 games, I believe, look at the number of 4 times the number of shots we're taking between the posts 2 and 5 meters. The defenders really limited the number of shooting opportunities on the left side, the 1-2 side, and then they kind of forced the shots to come from the right side, the 4-5 side for the left-handers. So I thought it was a pretty interesting analysis of shot selection at the NCAA level.
And this also shows the importance of the of kind of just drawing that attention, and then that presents the opportunity for the outside shots as well.
Exactly. So if you force the teams to respect these shots in the middle, then that will free up these opportunities outside. Training your centers. I believe it's real important to train everyone. And we do it at least once a week during high school season. We focus on center work. And so I tell the kids today, what are we working on today? Center stuff. And so even those attackers who are a little smaller, they're going to have to be able to, maybe they can post somebody up they have a size advantage. Maybe they have a skill advantage over somebody. So it's not just the 2 or 3 people per team that are your centers that you're working with. So we start with just warm up with. So some of the skills are push, push, push. I build up to what I want the final skill to look like. So we start off with hips up egg beater, and their hands are wide, nice wide legs, just doing a width or a length of egg beater, hips up. Then I start adding a stroke into it, so where they're pushing, like imaginary pushing that defender back, so with a breaststroke kick. So we build up these skills. I don't just say, all right, 4 widths, push, push, push. No, I kind of walk through each individual skill, making corrections as I see them. So turn, spin, seal. So then we'll build up to these. We'll have a progression. So I'll do hips up, add pushing, and then add a turn, spin, seal. So that's sealing off to the center defender, getting your back into them, adding breaststroke kick, using your arms. So all of these things are done progressively. So we add a little bit of a little bit more to each skill. Okay, center base position. So backwards egg beater, using your hands with your back rounded so that you're underneath the center defender. So they're on top of you, so it looks like they're sinking you with your chest, and you have leverage. Okay, because if you're underneath them, you're going to be able to snap to the ball. Okay, snapping to the ball. So if you're a right-handed center, so you really drive the right leg forward. So these are videos from either ODP or different sources I have found from around the on YouTube, etc. So feel free. We're not going to watch those today, but you can sit and watch them and kind of analyze the skills that they'll demonstrate. Okay. I do the whole warm up with these skill movements. And so sometimes, depending on the time of the year, maybe earlier in the year, we do a slower progression. We learn every single step and we kind of go through it, walk through it. And then later as the year progresses, I can put 2 of these into a warm up skill. Okay, 2 lengths, let's go push, 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 turn, spin, seal, snap to the ball. So you kind of take what the kids are ready for. Okay, and then I included in their passing, entry passes. So, a center is only is going to be able to take quality shots based on the passes that they receive. So, if it's up high, it's no good. If it's too far to the left, too far to the right, all these things. So it are effective skills that you can learn to improve your centers. So I have the kids say, okay, get up, make sure, now I want you to put it on the left side of them, put it right in front of them, put it on entry pass to the right side of them, so that they work on their accuracy. Because I know as a coach, I've seen goals being scored because the ball's put in the perfect place and steals happening because the ball's just this far away from the other side of where it should be.
So now at the beginning of the slide, you mentioned that you train all your kids to be center, correct? Now,
correct.
When it comes to a game, so do you have specific players that are primary centers or secondary centers?
Yeah, we do have our primary centers that we send in there. And so then with our substitution pattern, I'll have somebody come in. All right, going hard to being a center, you can only go 2 or 3 minutes. So you need to take a break because it's a very physically demanding position. So I do have my primary centers, and they're usually the ones that are, depends on if they're, a big center. So like they're just gonna be able to hold up space a little bit better, or they're quicker and they can do they're smaller, they can do quick turns. So it kind of affects where they play. On the kick out passing, everybody may call it something different. That's, to me, is where the center has the ball. They're not going to be able to get a shot off, and they pop it out to the outside for a pass to the other side or catch and shoot, etc. So kick out passing, I have them work on when the ball's straight ahead, right? When the ball's to the left of them, when ball's to the right of them. I try to set them up as many game situations. And then we started off with no defense. As the skills progress and the year moves along, the kids get better and better. Then we start adding defender on the passing. So entry pass around to the left of the defender, around to the right, changing their angles on the entry passes. Center defenders, add center defenders on that so they can kick it out with the ball to if the center defender's on their left side, you can pop it out from the right. So we kind of add variations and make it progress throughout the season. And then from there, I can also add in space, add spinning, counter spinning to maintain ball side position. So it's critical that the center hold their position. Otherwise, if the defender can get around, which that's what they're trying to do, prevent that ball from going into center, you've got to keep that defender behind you. So we work on spinning, counter spinning to maintain ball side position. So there's excuse me, a video here that's it's kind of a good demonstration of how you do that. You can set that up in pairs. You can use that as part of your passing to kind of work on these skills. Okay, from there, we talk a little bit about center shots. To me, there's a few fundamentals. I think I always tell them, let's have their hands start up to stop that ball from skidding in too close, kind of extend. They can snap to it that way with the fingertips up. And then from there, what shots you're going to do is going to kind of control where your hand moves. So if I want to, then I want from there, almost all the shots, I'm going to have them roll their hand underneath or to the side so they can carry the ball or move the ball effectively instead of trying to grab the ball on top. Okay. Strong side turn. To me, that's, I was a big guy center. This is the shot that I wanted to do every time. So if they weren't on my left shoulder, if they were behind me or to my right, I was going to do a strong side turn to my left. So it's quarter turn or half turn towards the goal. You're facing away from the goal. I have them do this with no defense, turn towards the goal, shoulder square up, slam. Okay. Stepping out. This is if the defender is straight behind you, stepping out towards the ball, coming up and shooting directly over the goalie's head. Okay.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but like on that step out, like you want to get those legs underneath the shoulders, just be able to use your legs to get up and shoot over the defender and the goalie, correct?
Right. So they really, it's key that they really drive that right leg forward, get their get their leg extended forward, get a good wide base so they can snap up and then explode down and shoot that ball. Okay, layout is to me where you're trying to go over the center defender's head. So you kind of turn, look over to the left, and then shoot over to the left side for a right-hander.
And that's just a quick move, a little bit closer to the goal. It's not going to be kind of far away from the goal, correct?
Right, and then to me, I do the layout when they're when they're protecting on the turn side. Okay, so if they're over on their left shoulder, the defender is, excuse me, over committing to the left side, so they're not going to allow that strong side turn. Then to me, I tell them to focus on that layout shot or the step out, or they can do the backhand as well. Okay, and the backhand shot or turn. So I prefer the turn, especially now with the new rules. If you gain that advantage and there's even if you're holding the ball, it should be a penalty. Okay, and then if you do want to finish there, we work on the inside water finishing with your strong hand towards the goal, protecting your space with your left hand behind you and the defender behind you. So turning towards the water. Okay, and there's a video here of attacking inside water. Okay, on my shooting drills, I move from simple to complex. So I make them do like 2 minutes at 2 meters, and they have to do the strong side turn. Then they do 2 minutes step outs, then they do 2 minutes layouts, then do 2 minutes of backhands. I kind of rapid fire, no defender, and then I start adding defense. And it depends on the time of the season. So if we're just trying to get reps in and movements in, and then I have them the defense. When I do put the defense in, I start controlling where they are, because you shouldn't do a strong side turn if the defender's overcommitted on the left side. They've committed that side. They're not giving you that shot. So you wouldn't do that shot. So I control where the defense is. Okay, and then we start moving into a game-like scenario. So we start off with a defender on the pass, full defense on the center. I control where the defender is in the cage, and so where the center is, and then we kind of go through reps. Let's do 3 in a row, rotate, so that they get a little fatigued. Then I add, center defender, try to take a stroke around, counter spin, seal off again, then receive the entry pass. So all your drills and your game or your practice should try to replicate what's going on in your games. So if the kids are having trouble doing maintaining ball side position, then set the defender in that position. Say, okay, on the whistle, try to get around, let them spin, maintain position, then receive the entry pass. So to me, that's the fundamentals of drawing up any kind of drill. It's not like there's no magic. Oh, here, look, watch this video. This one drill works for everything. Now, to me, you've got to simulate what you want to see, the end result that you want to see in a game. So you can your centers are not always just shooters. So sometimes they need to be the passers. So we do kick out shooting. So we add the entry pass comes in, the offense slides left or right, catch, shoot. And then we add defense and we try to make it like a game. Then when it's time to work on the attackers playing center position, we pass and post up, or post up from the opposite side, swing the ball into an entry pass. So big switch from one side all the way to the other side. So we kind of work on the things that end up happening in a game. So I draw up my drills saying, okay, now it's time for work for the attackers. So attackers, get in a line at 2, take 2 or 3 hard strokes. Defender is playing drive defense, swim them in, push, 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 then turn seal, receive the ball, entry pass, turn, shoot. So to me, that's the biggest thing I try to accomplish, is making those drills seem like the games. And then every drill is going to be a little different. So you're going to have drills that are just for your centers, your primary centers. You have drills that are for your attackers who are having to post up. So you kind of set the scenarios to work on different things. There's drills that have your primary centers who are working on kicking it out when there's a crash coming, or they can't get a shot off. So I think that's about all I had. So if you have any questions, feel free. You can email me. I have lots of resources that I kind of did it quick in 20 minutes, but so to kind of get people started so they could have something to work on and kind of write their practice plan based on the things that they see that they need to work on.
Chris, thank you so much for the time. Again, for those that are watching this video, this PowerPoint is also going to be posted online at txwaterpolo.com. Just click the education. There will be a coaches to coaches link, so you can just click there. It's going to be in a Google Drive for everything that we did today. Chris, I appreciate it, and thank you so much.
Welcome. You're welcome, and hopefully see you all at the pool deck soon.
All right, take care.